Oops. Boom. Hey, everybody. I'm Paul Cram. Here are the books that I wanted to just talk about that I read over the summer. Follow Your Heart by Andrew Matthews. Six Thinking Hats by Edward de Bono. Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. Our Deepest Roots by Jen Towns. And Find the Good by Heather Lende. Not sure how to say her last name. Follow Your Heart. I came across this book because my book club in February, we had a book prompt, which was a book with the word heart in the title. While we didn't read this book, this was one of the books that I did come across while looking around, and I'm really glad that I did. I enjoyed this read quite a bit. There's a lot of like really fun illustrations in it. Andrew, he's the writer and the illustrator. The overall book, so Follow Your Heart, Finding Purpose in Your Life and Work. I really liked just a lot of what he talked about. I read this very slowly, just a little, the chapters are super short, and I just kind of read it over the summer. He talks a lot about like when bad things happen, how to approach your work, what can you do kind of to manage stress and just different things in life. It's a very charming, lovely read. I actually am recommending it. I definitely recommend it. Give it a thumbs up. I wanted to say though, towards the end, I think actually just in the last 5 pages, I really rolled my eyes super hard. And it was because throughout the book, he never mentioned this, but then at the end he did. And it was sort of a little bit of a woo kind of a vibe where I was just like, where is he going with this? And then I was like, oh, there it is. He mentions A Course in Miracles. I have not studied that. I have not read it. I haven't got into it. I know people that have, and the people that have that I've talked to are like, it can be very culty and very not good. So obviously, if I use the word culty, but I liked the book overall, but I would just maybe take it with a grain of salt. Some of what he gets at when he starts talking about that. Second book here is Six Thinking Hats by Edward de Bono. Came across this. I do, some people know this, but I work as an artist in like graphic design, marketing kind of things when I'm not on set working as an actor. This book, one of the clients I was working with, they teach about this, a new client that I have. And I was like, what is this? So I picked it up. I've been reading it. I'm almost done. This is an approach to different ways of thinking and different ways to like problem solve and to like just different ways in which we can think and see things. And I really like this approach. I've started to use it. I can tell it's coming into my conversations now when I'm working with even working with like design clients, but also when I'm working on movie sets. I'm like, oh, the hat that they're wearing, they're thinking about this from here's all of the things that could go wrong. That's the black hat. Or oh, they're purely just coming at this from the white hat perspective where it's just information, whatever that may be. It's a very good read. I will say, like, there's some parts of it where I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what he's driving at. And some parts seem to like he's making the point again. So it's a little bit repetitive. I think, though, that's good in this context of like learning something new. This book, by Eckhart Tolle. I've never read anything by Eckhart Tolle before. I was excited to read and pick. I didn't pick this one up. Actually, a friend gifted me this. Thanks, Jeremy. And I'm really glad to have read it. It's called A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose by Eckhart Tolle. He wrote the book The Power of Now, which I have obviously not read. I know this book was recently on RuPaul's book club as one of their picks. Very interesting thoughts and approach to like consciousness and like existing and how individual consciousness, and he talks about like the worldwide, like our whole world consciousness. I would say it's a bit of spirituality mixed in. I don't know that I agree with everything, but I'm glad that I read it because of that fact. I think it's really exciting to like see things from someone else's perspective, obviously. I loved how in some of it he was talking. There was a line, and I started belly laughing. I think he has a very good sense of humor. The line he said was basically like human beings, we can be summed up pretty basically, which is oftentimes all we talk about is here's all the reasons why I can't be happy in life. I don't remember how he worded it, but I thought about it and I was like, he's so right. So right. Made me laugh. There was a few other things too. He talks about religions, and he pokes some holes in things, and he does it in a fun way. I listened to the audiobook for a lot of this too, and I have to say, like, it was read by the author, by Eckhart. This would be an example, probably, if you do listen to the audiobook, of why hiring like a professional actor or somebody like me, there's a reason to do that. For the first half of like his audiobook narration, it was, excuse me, it was really hard to listen to. Uh, the something in the cadence or something, and it's like, that's okay. You're a writer. You're maybe not, a. But I will have to say, like, the second part was way better, and I think it probably was because he was finding his rhythm, and I don't know, it was good. I recommend it. It was an interesting read. Our Deepest Roots: Navigating Past Trauma to Build Healthier Queer Relationships by Dr. Jen Towns. I do wanted to say really quickly, I none of these books have I been paid for or anything to review. I love reading books. I love talking about them. Uh, Jen did reach out to me, or somebody from her team reached out to me through social media and offered to send me this book. I'm so glad that she did reach out. I did wind up buying the book. I'm sure this took so much work. I know for myself as an artist, I love it when people like buy my stuff. This is a really long way to explain like that I bought the book. I hope that helps Jen in some tiny droplet of a way. I recommend the book. I have to say for myself, I would have read this book way slower had for not for the last couple of years, had I not been doing things like therapy, and was if I wasn't familiar with things like EMDR, this book would have been more challenging to read, more necessary to read, and just I think it's a really good book. It digs into some really deep, dark places. And had I not already been doing a bit of work with a therapist and with support groups and with my own stuff, this would have been helpful. But also, she says it too. The things in here that she touches on, um, I think they're hard to do alone, like life. But yeah, there she does a really I do say I do have to say, like, I really appreciated the way in which she approached everything, and the empathy that she has, and the way she explains it was just very relatable. And I love it so much that there is a book like this that is written. If you're straight, you could get something out of this, but the book is written for all of the examples use people that are queer, and that is rare and hard to find. I wish some people would take some notes on that, where it's like maybe every example, if you're writing about relationships, don't have to be between man and woman. So I appreciate you, Jen. This book has been great. I did, obviously, I have my post-it notes. I did earmark some things. It's been really helpful. I highly recommend it. Last, this book I came across at the library. I was there, and you know how they have the little displays. I love the librarians. Oh my God, thank you. This book is just fantastic. I picked it up a couple of weeks ago. Find the Good: Unexpected Life Lessons from a Small Town Obituary Writer, written by Heather Lende. I'm not sure. Uh, she takes what could be such a dark topic of death. Every chapter deals with death, and I'm going to be giving this book as gifts this year. This book is so charming, so heartwarming. I'm going to steal and share what a lot of the people online have said about this book, and it's like this book is like it's like the reading version of just a really pleasant, warm hug. And she talks about her life. She talks about being a parent. She talks about being a human. She talks about making space for yourself. Uh, it's just lovely. I highly recommend it. It's a very quick read. It's a small book, but it's just charming. So I highly recommend it. Um, Friends, family. Yes, you're probably going to get this for Christmas this year. All right. What about you all? What are you reading? What have you read? I would love to hear. Let me know. I always comment or like or whatever you want to do. But huge fan of. If you've read any of these, also comment. Let me know. Let me know what you thought. I'm always love to hear. Love to talk about books. Yeah. Anyway, cheers. Can't remember if I mentioned I love chocolate milk with reading. So yeah. Anyway, cheers.